Why did you two decide to write Show Your Colors?
There was a real need in the marketplace for a book that showed how to use colored beading wire in projects. There's so many different things you can do with the colored beading wire, like braiding and weaving and knitting, and we just felt like it was something that was really missing.
What skill level does this book appeal to?
Oh, the book can appeal to pretty much anyone, beginners as well as advanced. There's probably a new technique in there for everyone, something that they've never tried before.
What inspired each of you to create the projects that are in the book?
I pulled my inspiration a lot from the fashion world. I did a lot of research by looking through Vogue or InStyle and cutting clippings and how colors were paired together. I also worked a little bit with Margie Deeb, who is a color expert in the beading world, and she definitely gave me some inspiration as well.
And I didn't do the color collages like Sara did, but I just kind of played around with the color mixes and had all the wires spread out in front of me and made up different sets and groupings of colors and just kind of went from there.
These projects are all adaptable to any color of flexible beading wire that you may have, like the metallics, for example, right?
Definitely. Oh, absolutely. Any of the projects can use the different colors.
And we encourage people to do the projects in their own color combinations and their own variations of it.
Did you guys encounter any surprises along the way?
I can't think of any major surprises. I think my biggest surprise was how quickly we had to put everything together and how difficult the step-by-step pictures were. But we definitely made it work.
We did. And that the time was my surprise too. A deadline always comes up faster than you think it's going to.
Who or what has influenced each of your work and why?
Well, my work has definitely been influenced by the two owners of Softlex Company, Mike Sherman and Scott Clark. I started with Softlex 13 years ago, so I was almost kind of like a little babe in the beading world. So Mike took me under his wing, and I definitely think of him every time I'm creating.
I was inspired a lot. My parents, they both own fine jewelry stores, so I grew up in that industry, and just being able to grow up seeing all the sparkly, precious stones and stuff has definitely influenced. I also draw a lot from art and just culture and pretty much everything.
How is this book different than those that are currently out on the market? What makes it unique?
Well, I believe it's one of the only books that focuses solely on colored beading wire. Just trying to teach people to use the wire as part of the design instead of simply covering wire up with beads and bindings.
Right. Also the chapter on knitting with beading wire, I think that's completely unique. I haven't seen another published book that uses that technique specifically, and that's definitely the chapter that I see people get the most excited about.
And lastly, why would a consumer be drawn to this book?
Color. Definitely the color. It's bright, it's fun.
And we're so fortunate that color is such a hot trend in clothing and everything else right now that it just follows along in suit with it.
Yeah, it was a perfect timing for this book.